gal, who could ask for anything more?
Who could ask for anything more than Gene Kelly as dancer, choreographer, direction by Vincent Minnelli, lyrics and music by Ira and George Gershwin. An American in Paris won 6 Oscars in 1952, including Best Picture. It introduced Leslie Caron and featured a full-scale ballet at the finish. I saw this picture when it opened at the Radio City Music Hall in New York, and it looks even better today. Now, if you're in the mood for a Fred Astaire picture, Vincent Minnelli made one of those too, a delightful one, a couple of years later, The Bandwagon, where this song came from. For sheer exuberance and joy, it's hard to find a better high than 2 favorite Gene Kelly, Stanley Donen pictures. On the Town was not only the first musical to go on real locations, it also captured the young Frank Sinatra at his most innocent and charming.
New York, the wonderful town. The Bronx is up and the Battery down.
And of course, how could we leave out the inevitable one? Like the last 2, written by Betty Comden and Adolph Green. Gene Kelly again, Singing in the Rain. It's interesting to notice that all 4 of these pictures were made between 1949 and 1953, which ended the great post-war period of American optimism and high spirits. We certainly didn't know then, as the films were coming out, that this era would turn out to be the swan song of American innocence. Well, if the holidays bring love to mind, there are 2 love stories about adults that I think the whole family can enjoy. Hard to find these days. And strangely enough, both from the same period again. John Ford's most romantic picture, The Quiet Man, shot in Ireland with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara. Ford won his 4th Oscar for directing this picture, and Ava Gardner got her only nomination for another Ford love story shot entirely in Africa with Clark Gable and Grace Kelly, Magambo.
Look, Buster, don't you get overstimulated with me. I'm the little gal that flew all the way from New York to this lousy place, this dark continent.
Among our family's favorite Christmas pictures is Ernst Lubitsch's The Shop Around the Corner with Jimmy Stewart and Margaret Sullivan. A charming story of love and mistaken identities in a European department store, it becomes under Lubitsch's hand a classic high comedy and a remarkably touching essay on human foibles and folly.
Well, for heaven's sake, I don't care what you wear. If you want to look like a pony in the circus, it's all right. But I have troubles of my own without your blouse coming between Mr. Matacek and me.
Listen, I sold as much goods yesterday as anybody else in the shop. 95 Tango 50 isn't bad for a rainy Monday 3 weeks before Christmas. Did you tell that to Mr. Matacek?
Yes, I did.
And what did he say?
He said, tell her not to come in that blouse anymore.
Tell him I won't.
I will.
Another Jimmy Stewart Christmas favorite, of course, It's a Wonderful Life, has only recently become popular. It was a flop in its day and cost its maker, Frank Capra, much of his artistic freedom.
You've been given a great gift, George. A chance to see what the world would be like without you.
In recent years, though, the picture has been discovered by a wider public and now has become almost a TV tradition at Christmas time. But try, if you can, to avoid the colorized version, which, as Capra said, destroys the performances, and as Jimmy Stewart said, ruins the movie.
To my big brother, George, the richest man in town.
To realize that all these pictures, except the 2 Ford films, were made on the back lot and during the height of the studio system gives a glimpse of what that time was for almost 50 years and is no more. I once lamented the loss to Orson Welles, who said, well, what do you want? The Renaissance only lasted 60 years.